also hoping that there won't be, I mean, it's certainly a potential, but I'm hoping there won't be a lot of confrontation. I'm hoping it is positive, and even if it's civil disobedience, that the authorities don't crack down. Or if they crack down, it's, they don't try to knock out the whole group like one of these convention rallies and stuff, where they don't raid,
Can't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, Vermin, I know, is saying we got to be prepared for anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because I think it's, it's like, because we have been up there and there's nobody else really doing anything. It's real under the radar, and maybe even this last 4 years, like the one that happened, the Rudy Giuliani incident. You can see it on the video. I think that
where can I find that video?
It's at Vermin's got it, I think, or else Flux maybe has it.
Flux Rostrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that
Flux
was
Rostrum on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, Flux is going to be there too next year.
Yeah. I heard.
Yeah. But
documentary.
They might be sitting and preparing as well, like we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're gonna be. We got a whole year to prepare this, and we're going to be publicizing it left and right. And so I guess really putting it out that there's a protest. I think, I don't know. I don't know. We don't have to say that. Maybe we just are building the facility to have people come and do what they want to do. I may have actually said the word protest in my website or whatever.
Yeah, well, and that's okay too.
You can always
that's
go
okay
in
too. Right. I think it's because
But,
I think wouldn't it be better to let the press use the word protest first? Potentially.
What was your word?
Assembly or convergence. Now the other
action, some people would call it.
No, action's out. I think
that's worse than protest.
But a convergence. But the convergence is also, that word also is like, what got raided? It's the convergence center just got raided. So convergence and action might be two of those words that we may not want to use.
Well, it's a powerful word.
Yeah.
Assembly is a powerful word. I mean,
they're
all powerful words.
Exactly.
If you say them powerfully, they're a powerful.
Maybe we could just put them all in it. That's actually a circle of them.
There's other good words too. There's colloquy, which means talking together, and plenary, which means everybody's included in the conversation, and council is a word I've always liked from Rainbow.
We could actually turn them into verbs.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. I'm gonna think about.
Well, I'll have to.
Powwow.
You'll have to see the blurb that I wrote already. And then
is that on the website?
It's on. No, I just sent it to DPA and I sent it to Vermin.
I may have seen it, but it was a while ago, and I haven't really been.
No, this has been in the last 3 weeks.
Okay, no.
I mean, Vermin's his own manifesto came out before my thing did. But this was specifically a quasi fundraising appeal to DPA.
Yep.
So it's sort of a they wanted to know what the plans are. It was a synopsis they asked for the details of.
Oh, good. Okay.
So anyway, you'll have to see that. But I'm also as soon as I get my website fixed up a bit and more stuff added to it, hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to do a press release on it.
Good.
To publicize it.
Yeah.
I was mostly going to publicize it among the legalization groups in the country, and the social networking groups, and but also I want to put it out to the mainstream press too. So I should probably send you some wording on that. We could all circulate the wording before we finalize that. But basically, we're talking about getting people up. Hopefully getting large numbers of people up to a state where there's a campaign going on, and having them seen by the press, having them seen by the candidates, having them influence the political process, and in doing our best to guide it in a positive way, and also doing it. Our guidance can probably also get to the media interface. Because if you have protests that, let's say you're at the office and 2 videos come in, and one of them, people are singing songs and holding signs, and the other one, people are baiting the police and angry. Which video do you put out online?
Well,
send that one out with that word protest.
I think I can see something coming though for this one that we may want to try to be prepared for, and that's something like what was in 1968. I don't mean the violence from the police like '68, because that's probably not going to happen, but. What I mean is, there might be a lot of angry protesters because the Democratic Party had a chance and they turned out to be full of crooks, dishonest to a man, every single one of them. So I think that there are going to be a lot of people protesting against the Democratic politicians. And we might try to tap into that if we can.
Well, I think it would be, if once you get this assembly together and all these people are there, I think one of the first things then that needs to happen is a lot of language about nonviolent.
Yeah.
And that's why we got to keep
nonviolent civil disobedience, nonviolent, ahimsa. You know, we want to really make this a sort of more like a civil rights movement than the anarchists are going to break your windows. You know,
and there may be some angry people doing anarchist things.
There might be people breaking windows.
And
that's the thing, and so we need to think about that.
Right, we're not there as anarchists or even fascists, even though Berman is a fascist.
But what we can do is the very old-fashioned thing that they used to do at the clamshell, or maybe even at the Nevada test site, is you take a pledge of nonviolence that includes not breaking things for the duration of this assembly. You can
that's
refrain
really
from
important.
It. Yeah,
I think that's key right
yeah.
there.
And
is everybody sort of brought onto that level of understanding of what we're about to do. You know, we can have all the fun in the world. We can be satirical. We can be clowns. We can be theatrical. We can be serious. We can talk with respect to all these candidates because we want, after all, everyone to be on the same side ultimately.
Right.
You know, but we really have to be trained in nonviolent civil disobedience because it's going to come up and they have to be able to clearly tell the difference between the people who are willing to do that kind of action out of anger and those of us who are perhaps justifiably angry but still we found this way to operate and to try to interface with the political system.
Because it's usually more effective to do it.
I think it will be more effective. I do. I believe it has to be.
Yep.
And the thing is, we're going to have a core group of people that are going to be up there, but we're also going to have people dropping in for the day, who aren't trained and
right, exactly, because it's a very public event.
And yet, peace should be all over this thing, like like just sticking to it, to every little action and every little thing that goes down. It should all be about peace and freedom.
And that's our guidance because we have to. We can't tell people, we can't be bosses because people will resent being told what to do. So we have to let them do whatever they want to do, but also somehow put this message into their heads subtly.
Yeah.
You know,
and have a bunch of peace signs, that might help. Yeah. I think if you're going to have signs, that might be prevalent on the signs, probably.
I love the one that Death Thinking came up with, support the drug against wars. With a big marijuana leaf.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. This will be something we'll have to decide. Think about it. We want a variety of signs, but I know that the most recent thing that the DPA actually funded SSDP for the Colbert's rally in Washington.
Really?
Yeah, they professionally made 300 signs that said, I think it said legalize weed or legalize pot or something. So they had these. Everybody was holding these signs.
That's what I see. Is like that's so that when the press, because there's lots and lots of press, when they go and they get that, who would it be? I don't even know who was running, but all behind them are going to be these signs that say "Free the weed, free the people" or whatever. It's the signs, the unified message.
It's a 15-second soundbite or a still shot.
And it's like, okay, so we know there's press opportunities, but there's short moments when they're going to go into their rally and come back out, and they rush to the bus.
Well, there's short press opportunities,
right?
The usual press, but I'd also like to get some reporters embedded with us, and have people, have people doing in-depth stories covering the movement itself, over a period of days, or weeks even.
Well, maybe Flux will bring some others up to do that because that's
I'd like to be there doing that.
Yeah, but it's like it is a key thing is to get the schedules of where their appearances are, and then really like get them out there. Maybe even do a Twitter. I don't know how to do that.
I already have a Twitter account set up.
Do you?
I know how to do it.
Yeah,
I've learned all this.
Do you have a cell phone?
I don't have one now, but I'm probably going to have one when I'm up there.
to get them budgeted in. Someone else.
Yeah, if we could get some funding.
Yeah.
Not only camera equipment and all
well,
that
and
kind of stuff,
and
I'd like to be able to fund vehicles too.
Yeah.
Because people are going to be passing the hat to run their vehicles, but if everybody's really tight with gas money, they can't get to all these rallies they'd like to get to. So I'd like to be able to fund the food and fund the gas.
Maybe somehow we could create a supply of hemp seed oil for these vehicles.
That would be beautiful.
Can you imagine?
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
We might want to have
diesel shuttle bus or two.
Yeah, donations in kind. Somebody from California
would
bring a tanker truck in.
Yeah.
That would be good to get that happen.
Or even veggie oil. I mean, alternative oil is one of the points of the campaign.
Well, we should try to get the grease car in East Hampton involved. They would love to have an opportunity to
parade their
product.
Vehicles, and they have a lot of buses. A lot of people convert their diesel buses.
I'll write that one down because I know somebody that.
You know somebody who works there?
Well, I know somebody that drives a grease car as a taxi around that area. I don't know if she's part of this same bigger group.
And she might have gotten it through them.
Taxi.
Yeah, there is a green taxi now that runs on. I don't know if it's running on grease.
Maybe there's even one in New Hampshire.
There's something
like that.
There's green taxi around here too.
Oh yeah, we have to.
That's one of my pipe dreams. One of the businesses I wish I could run.
Well, we know in New Hampshire.
Well, I said I've checked out these 2 communes up there, but I'm saying they're not big enough for people to stay at.
But if we were going to play up
there's an awful lot of that's a totally different issue that is going to be an issue for us. Is we're going to be working on legalization.
Yep.
And we're going to be coordinating with different groups on the left.